Now that Scarlet and Violet has released for the Nintendo Switch, we're just waiting for that next shoe to fall for the TCG. That's right, we're waiting for Scarlet and Violet base set. But we're here to tell you, we got some concerns about hype around the entire era of Generation 9. So last week we did a video saying farewell to Generation 8 in the Sword and Shield era, and it's time to talk about our thoughts on the upcoming Scarlet and Violet era for the Pokemon TCG. We have some major concerns and maybe a couple of ways to rectify it and make it a little bit better, but overall, I think they could be in for some hurt. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the game, so I'm not playing the game, so I'm getting all my stuff off of offline and, getting it all online.
Wow, you're doing offline research? Are you at the library right now?
I'm getting into the encyclopedias here. I'm at the library.
The local Ohioan library over there.
But yeah, I'm, just taking a look at, all the pictures of all the brand new Pokemon that we were all so hyped about. We were getting so many new Pokemon here. And I got to tell you, I can count the number of Pokemon that I'm like, it's hard to even say excited for on one hand.
I'm with you. Design-wise, absolutely. This era, Scarlet and Violet games, I've played through the entire game. I got the credits to roll. I'm about 85% of the way done for my Pokedex. And I've seen pretty much every single new Pokemon inside of the Scarlet and Violet games. And I'll tell you this, when I was playing the game, never once did I come across a Pokemon where I was just like, I need to have that on my team. Like, I need to get it. I need to catch it. I'm going to make it my primary Pokemon. And the worst thing for me is actually the starters. When I was choosing my 3 starters, okay, so the first forms of the starters are completely fine. Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley, They look great. They look fine. They are what you would expect from first evolutions of starters. Awesome. My problem is with the final evolutions. Meowscarada, so what is it? I don't even know how to say. It is the Pokemon I went for. Hold on. Skeledirge. Bless me, I sneezed. Skeledirge and Quaquaval, okay? These are the worst final evolution starters that I've ever seen in my entire life. As soon as my Skeledirge evolved, I took it off my team. I literally was like, I cannot. And Brady did the same thing with the Quaxley line. Oh, man. It's literally like a line dancing peacock, and he was so sad. He was so disappointed. He was like, what's going on right now? And he got mad at me because, I did my research and I looked at the evolutions of the starters before I chose mine. And I pretty much went with, this is going to be a bad term, but I went with the tallest short person. Okay. I went with the tallest short person. And as soon as it evolved, I got rid of it. I replaced it. I picked up Ceruledge on my team to cover my fire type, and I was gone. I was done. It's literally a crocodile clown. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zero. Look at the three starters and tell me what you think of them. As somebody who hasn't played the game, but is a Pokemon familiar. You've played pretty much every other game. You've done red and blue and yellow and all that stuff. Like, just looking at the 3 and comparing them to like a Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard. Like, what's your thoughts?
Man, so all those like Pokemon knockoff games that are out there that you can like download in the App Store. I can't even think of the names of them right now, but there's like 10 of them out there or so. It looks like it's that. It looks like it's like the 3 main, mons from whatever game that is. It doesn't feel like Pokemon to me in a way. Maybe Meowscarada feels the most Pokemon-esque to me.
I see it.
But yeah, whatever your Pokemon's name is. Skeledirge, thank you.
I feel like I need to say it like that. I feel like I need to go Skeledirge. I'm going to pull out my Skeledirge and battle choose.
That seems appropriate. But yeah, they're just not doing it for me. And I'm telling you right now, if I play Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, starter's not going to be on my team for very long. I can guarantee you that, because none of them are really sticking out to me as like, yes, like that's my starter.
Another thing that has been frustrating me is you see like on Twitter and Instagram, and people are like, oh my gosh, Lechonk is so cool. Oh my gosh, Dunsparce got a new evolution. Bro, they're terrible. They're terrible. Yeah. Lechonk is just the new Rattata, right? That's all it is. It's the new early game normal type. It's just a Rattata. The Dunsparce is just... They added a middle section of Dunsparce. So like, I feel like...
I'm not going to lie. I thought that was a typo when I saw that online. I'm like, okay, no, I guess Dunsparce is here, and they just typed his name wrong.
That's what it is. That's literally what it is. I mean, there are some cool Pokemon that have, like Scovillain is pretty cool, and it's like a habanero pepper fire grass. I'm like, that's pretty dope. I still didn't want it on my team when I found it. I was like, who am I going to replace? Am I really going to take Cerulege off my team to put in a Scovillain because I don't want two fire types on my team? No, you know what I mean? Like, it was really weird, and I ended up playing and finishing the game with only 2 new Pokemon on my entire team, and that is Cerulege, who ended up being my ace. Love Cerulege. That's the Mega Man type Pokemon, because I played Violet, so I got Cerulege. And the pseudo-legendary, what is it? Gosh darn it. Baxaragan, Doggin, Froggin. No, the names are so bad, too. Baxcalibur. That's right. That shows you how much I threw it in the game. It was on my team this whole time, and it's actually a very strong Pokemon. Never really played it. My whole 90% of the game, like, I played with Cerulege, Lucario, Gyarados, and gosh, who was the last one that I kept using? Garchomp. Like, those were my 4 go-tos, and I had Baxcalibur on the back end and Salamence on the back end as well, just in case I needed, whatever. So, but here's my problem. None of these Pokemon are doing it for me, and none of these Pokemon are doing it for the casual fan base. Of course, your hardcore fans are going to find Pokemon they like, and they're going to go, oh my gosh, how do you not like Mabo-Stiff? Like, how do you not like that dog? Like, I'm like, because I don't like dogs. What do you mean? I'm good. Grafai. No, I'm fine. Like, obviously, there's, some people are going to find their favorite Pokemon here, but I don't see the appeal to the casual collector, and I really don't see the appeal for Kanto generation fans, because none of these Pokemon scream Kanto. None of them look like their older school Pokemon, and like you were saying, none of them even look like Pokemon at all. So I'm a little concerned by that. Do you find concerning just the general appeal of the Pokemon?
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I wasn't really thinking that before, but like just taking some thought back at like Kanto and Johto and Hoenn and just kind of the earlier on generations and things like that. It is hard to find where unless you're looking at Wiglet and Wugtrio. It's hard to find some Pokemon where you're like, that kind of does feel, it gives me some nostalgic feels in this new Pokemon. I just don't feel like there's any of that here. And I'm also, looking even more through the list. I mean, there's some Pokemon, and I guess there's always some Pokemon in every generation where it really feels like, maybe they just had a really lazy day there at headquarters. When I'm looking at like Flamigo right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Nothing special about Flamigo.
It's a flamingo.
It's a flamingo. Exactly. Or like, like Squawkabilly or something like that. I don't know. Maybe Squawkabilly's awesome.
Toucannon 2.0. That's all it is.
Exactly. So
Toucannon 2.0. It's just not good.
No. And it really is concerning. Looking at these Pokemon and just knowing that, this is what we have to look forward to in the next generation coming up in the TCG.
Yeah.
Especially early on, it's going to be very heavy with these, brand new Pokemon. They want to get them out there. They want to get people excited about them.
First 3 sets are going to be so want to get people just Paldea heavy.
Like them. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly how Sword and Shield was. I'm sure that's probably how Sun and Moon was. I'm sure that's how, almost every generation is. They want to push the new stuff out first. Then they'll come back in,
So there are some Pokemon that I think people are going to be excited to get, right? I do think there's a small handful that I think they can put a lot of their eggs in their basket. I'm looking at Ceruledge, Armorage, Braxcalibur, Miraidon, Koraidon, Tinkaton, Houndstone has a lot of fans. And then I think the Paradox Pokemon, when they start getting cards, is going to be really cool because I can almost guarantee you they're all going to be EX cards. Because they're really, really awesome. Iron Valiant is fantastic. Roaring Moon, very good Pokemon. And I can almost guarantee you they're going to be EXs and ultra rares moving forward. We might not see the Paradox Pokemon until sets 3 and 4. I think that's the way they're going to go here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. But we're going to get a lot of starters in the first couple sets. Miraidon, Koraidon, Ceruledge, Braxcalibur. They're going to get a lot of the focus. People are super excited for Tinkaton and Houndstone as well, so I think they're going to be in the first couple of sets. But other than that, there's not a single Pokemon that I think is going to excite people about wanting to pull. Now, what this means is they're going to have to rely very, very heavily on old Pokemon to generate hype for the sets. And that's, I don't want to say that's concerning because it's really not much different than what it was for the Galar region. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here, and you might, it might give you a little bit of like, holy crap, I never realized this before. But if you have been a subscriber to the channel for a long time here, you know that I love to talk about fan favorite Pokemon. And I do think that Pokemon has this problem where they don't know how to create new fan favorite Pokemon. I don't think they know how to. Go talk to all your friends that have either loved Pokemon for a long time or maybe even be new to Pokemon and ask them, what's your favorite Pokemon? I will bet you'll be very, very rare and very hard to find somebody say anything from Generation 8 and probably even anything from Generation 9. Now, that being said, I kind of warrant it to like wrestling, right? So WWE, I'm a wrestling fan as well. And I think WWE has the same problem. They have a hard time creating new stars. They had The Rock, they had Stone Cold, they had, these big names back in the day. Now there's one. There's like Roman Reigns. He's like the only guy who's like a top tier star. And they have a trouble making stars across the board anywhere else. I think Pokemon has the same problem, especially since it's such a nostalgia-driven franchise and such a nostalgic-driven game and cards and stuff like that. So, that being said, do you think any of your friends are going to be like, bro, Alcremie is by far my favorite Pokemon. What are you talking about? Do you agree with they have a hard time creating new fan favorite mons?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just thinking back at the Sword and Shield era, there really wasn't any of the new Pokemon other than like maybe Dragapult, Zamazenta, Zacian. I do really like those. I can't say they're, my favorite by far. I mean, y'all know it's Arcanine and nobody's going to be taking that spot. So yeah, I definitely do. And it kind of shows really, really hard in this generation that it kind of feels like they were scrambling with some of these. Like Ceruledge, I think you picked a fantastic Pokemon for your team. I can definitely see, Ceruledge and Armorogue, being some, maybe some fan favorites, at least of this era. But yeah, I don't see necessarily any of these, being somebody's favorite, ultimate, top number one favorite Pokemon. Maybe the Dunsparce might be your favorite Pokemon someday.
Yeah, but it's tied back to a previous generation again.
True. That is true.
And you hear that with like Annihilate and King Gambit, right? Another two really, really like pretty decent Pokemon for the generation tied back to previous games,
True.
And like Primeape literally being from the Kanto region. So I think they have that big trouble. Now, another question I'm going to ask you is, let's look at probably the most popular sets for, let's say, Sword and Shield, right? Most popular sets for Sword and Shield era. And I want you to tell me what is similar about them, right? Most popular set, Evolving Skies. Why do people like Evolving Skies so much?
Evolutions, Altar Evolutions, pretty much Evolutions.
Right, and Rayquaza. I throw that in there too.
And
Rayquaza, Evolutions,
yes.
alternate arts, obviously, right? But that's for pretty much every set at the end of Sword and Shield. So it tells you why is Evolving Skies higher than the others, right? Evolutions, fan favorites. Rayquaza, fan favorites. All older Pokemon, not from the Galar region. Brilliant Stars. Why is Brilliant Stars popular?
Got that Charizard chase. Got a couple Charizard chases in there.
Charizard chase.
Again, alternate arts. It's just a fantastic set. Good trainer gallery too.
Charizard chase. Main reason why, right? Arceus, maybe. People like Arceus. I'd probably put him in there as like a B compared to Charizard's A. Celebrations.
Oh, I mean, that takes us back to many different generations. You got the Charizard chase in there too. You got the Golden Mew. I mean, it's all pure nostalgia.
Right.
In that set.
Shining Fates. Champion's Path. Charizard chase. Charizard chase.
Charizards, yep.
Vivid Voltage. Pikachu. Right? You notice how not once when you're looking at the most popular sets from Generation 8 did you go, oh, it's because Cinderace is in there. It's because
it's Cinderace. The 50th Cinderace.
It's the Eternatus. I was really looking forward to that Eternatus. And after waiting so long for the new Regis, I just had to get that Regidrago alternate art from Silver Tempest. Like, that was my chase. Not Lugia, Regidrago.
Right.
So we're finding ourselves.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel with Silver Tempest. I mean, I'm hunting that
Arcanine.
Arcanine.
So I'm really concerned that for collectors, at least, because I know for the game it might be different. They're gonna make powerful TCG cards for these new Pokemon, so people want them, and at least they can sell them in that way, because people aren't going to want them otherwise. They're just not. People are not going to get excited for, maybe Koraidon might be cool, Miraidon might be cool, the Paradoxes are cool, the new legendaries, spoiler alert if you haven't played the game yet, there's 4 new legendaries that are similar to, like, the Regis. It's like the 3, but now there's 4. They went from the legendary beasts and birds, now there's 4 of them. And they're basically like Chinese mythical beasts is kind of like what they are from, like, Chinese myth, Chinese legend. Reminds me of Mists of Pandaria, actually. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, like Mists of Pandaria, it's like Kung Fu Panda style. Very similar to like that kind of stuff. Which is like fine, it's cool, but I'm not dying to get those cards either. It's just really strange.
Yeah.
So, like, overall, in terms of excitement, of course I'm excited for new Pokemon sets. Who isn't, right? It always is. But I think Pokemon is literally painting themselves in the corner to where their only successful sets are going to have sets that include Charizard, Blastoise, Mewtwo, Evolutions, Pikachus. Like, it's very, very odd to me that all these new Pokemon aren't making a dent in anything. And, like, how do you fix it?
Yeah, I don't know. With the designs that we're looking at, it almost feels like, they're putting a lot of their eggs in the actual TCG gameplay basket with, going back to kind of the EX era. But I don't know if that's enough.
That's because
really hold an era.
It doesn't matter when you can just give us a Blastoise UPC,
That would be awesome. I'd take a Blastoise UPC.
Right?
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But,
I'm with you, man. The design of these Pokemon looks like they're just getting farther away from what we used to enjoy. I don't know if that's. I don't know if it's just because I'm older. Is it just because I'm an old man?
I don't know. Maybe we're just getting too old,
Grouches.
And we just don't see the sparkle in the Pokemon anymore. I don't know.
I mean, Baxcalibur is pretty cool.
We're looking for them all to look like Annihilate over here, looking all bad.
Right, bro? Come on, dude! It looks so good. It looks so
Annihilate
good.
Is awesome. I will give it.
But
that.
Why would I want Annihilate when I can have Oinkalone?
Oinkalone. I almost forgot. How could you not?
What?
Or you could have, a Toadstool running behind you. I've seen many clips of that funky Pokemon running.
Why would I want to play with Tyranitar when I can play with a Smoliv?
Yeah, exactly.
Smoliv
all the way.
Stupid, dude.
To the Elite Four.
It's so stupid, man. I don't know. Like it's just. Oh, do I want a Talonflame, a flying Firebird? Nah. I want a Flamingo, bro. I want a straight Flamingo. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, I am down.
But
yeah, there's nothing that really stands out and is like that's going to be my mon.
It is
for this era.
I agree.
Not there.
So that's it for today's conversation, guys. Let us know down in the comment section, what Pokemon from Generation 9 are you looking forward to getting on a TCG card? What are your chases? What do you want in that first set to start off with a bang from Generation 9? Because I just don't want any of them. I really don't. But here at Next Level TCG, we post Pokemon-related content at least 5 times per week. So if you're in that sort of a thing, guys, drop a sub and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. We also post shorts every single day, and we're live every single Friday with a box break. You guys can buy into that break. Link in description, guys. Sometimes Nate even goes live on Saturdays. He had a bussin' stream on Saturday. That was good time, which I still had the better mystery box. So Nate said, let's go ahead and do a poll for people who may not even have joined my stream on Friday. And like, bro, it's still hardly edged out.
It might have been a little bit weighted.
It was a little weighted. It was a little weighted, bro. Like, I'm just saying.
You'll have to do a poll. You'll have to do a poll on Friday. See what people say.
I will have to do that. But come hang out with us, guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. We're not trying to be negative Nancy's. I just don't. We're just honest. You know, we talk about things that we think about. We share it with you guys. You can choose to like it, agree with it, disagree with it. I don't care. Talk about that in the comments. We try to chat with all you guys down there as much as we can. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. And I think ASX has one more thing to let you know.
Yeah, guys. I just want to say, I know it's a super exciting mon, but don't waste all your Pokemon on those Pokemon balls. Pokeballs.
Ruined your joke.
Talk. Don't waste all those Pokeballs.
Don't waste your balls.
On those Dunsparces.
Don't waste your balls.
And as always, be kind, be yourself, and level up.
And to Dunsparce.